Hello. Since last video I've been disassembling the MK3 Supra quite heavily. I've taken out the radiator. I had an electric fan on this car. I've taken that out. The charge pipes, the intake manifold, the alternator, and there was no AC in this car when I bought it, so the AC compressor and everything related to that is also gone. And then I took out the power steering pump, and the power steering lines are still here. Then I've taken out many electric components and sorted all of the electrics from the engine bay, but everything so far has been only disassembling. So I haven't really built anything quite yet. I've just been removing stuff. And now on this video I think I'm gonna explain to you, also the viewers, what all the different kind of components in a MK3 Supra engine bay are. I'm not quite sure that I'm gonna cover all the components that you might have in your car, but I'm gonna show you what different kind of elements you're gonna find from a car like this. And when I've been disassembling and sorting this car out, I've found out that it's relatively easy car to work with. It's really simple, and it's much more easy to get rid of all these electrics and hide everything in this engine bay than it is, for example, in a S13 Nissan. So this engine bay is it's really simple. You just gotta know what everything is and how to remove those, hide them, and that kind of stuff. And then when you have a front-facing intake manifold like I do, you can pretty easily get the engine bay very clean. And I'm gonna explain to you next what I'm gonna do with this car. So this is the engine bay in its state now. As you can see, I've pretty much removed everything unnecessary, and now I'm gonna run through the engine bay quite simply for you, starting from this corner here. Naturally, this is your windscreen wiper, the motor that moves the windscreen wipers. This is the actuator for your heater. This releases or blocks the engine coolant flow from the cylinder head, back of the cylinder head. It goes, possibly if this is released in a correct way, if you want to turn the heat up to the cabin, then this allows the coolant to flow inside the heater core. Then you have the actuators for the coolant flow. So this is actuated by a very simple shaft right here, and this is vacuum operated. It has an electric what do you call it, a valve. Then once we get this thing to focus please, there you go. Then we have the ABS pump. So this is for the anti-lock brake system, pretty simple. And then you have these electric components right here. I think they are placed like so. And these are for your fuel pump. So this is kind of ridiculous system, but this is the fuel pump relay, and this is a resistor pack for your fuel pump. So I believe that these two work together in that way that when the car drops to idle, then it gives it a bit of resistance, so that it doesn't give that much flow to the fuel pump. But anyway, these are only for your fuel pump, and they are connected to this wire loom that comes directly from inside your wheel well from there. So these, I don't think I'm gonna be able to remove this ABS pump from here, or the windshield wiper motor. I'm not going to remove these, I'm just going to clean them up. But these, the fuel pump relay and the resistor pack, I'm going to move these somewhere else. Then moving on forward, the electric wiring that comes from the windshield wiper fluid reservoir behind here. This wire loom is just for your ABS sensor. You can see that it goes into the wheel well right here. This is for my coilover adjusting system that I have, the electronic dampener system that I have from Tane, so don't worry about that. Then we move on to the engine side. Naturally, here you have your O2 sensors. In my exhaust there's two. You might have two or one, but the additional one here is just for a air fuel mixture gauge. The other one is for the ECU, and I'm gonna reduce this system also that I only have one, and I'm gonna upgrade it to a Bosch system so that I can see what kind of air to air fuel ratio I'm running at, and also give the same knowledge to the ECU from one sensor. Then here you have your camshaft position sensor. I have the metal cover for this. You probably might have a plastic one, but this is metal. It's connector right here, and this tells your ECU in which position your engine is at. And these Toyota engines, just like the Nissan engines also from this era, are funny like that they only have the cam position sensor. These don't have a camshaft or the crankshaft position sensor as a regular, so these only run by cam position. Then we have the next thing we have is the thermostat housing, and I have already removed the thermostat from here, but just to show you what this is. So behind the camshaft position sensor you have the sensor for your water temperature, and this is for cold start injector. So the thing that I showed in a previous video, that it's in the intake manifold, there's a small injector inside the intake manifold. This is the switch for that. So when the engine coolant is cold enough, this is operating in a way that it's releasing more fuel to your system. I'm not going to use this anymore, I'm just going to get rid of it, so that's nothing important for me. Then the second thing is this one. This is for your auxiliary fan sensor, so I'm not gonna use that one either. Here usually, no, sorry, yeah, this is for the auxiliary fan sensor. Usually here is another connector which is with blue stripes, and I'm not completely sure what that is, but this is for light green wire, and this is usually here. But in my case I use here an extra gauge, an extra cluster, or what do you call it, to see the coolant temperature. This is for your AC fan switch. Then behind the thermostat housing here you can see this sensor is important. This is what tells your ECU what your coolant temperature is. And then we have one more which is under here, and this is just for your the temp gauge in the driver panel, or what do you call it, the well, the water temp gauge, the regular one. So this and this, these are two that I might keep as a regular, but this is useless for me, this is useless for me, and this one. And there's also one here normally, but I've plugged it already. This goes for the turbo, to the turbo, I mean. So this is just water flow to the turbo, and the return line comes directly from here. And some people, when they change turbos to ones that are not cooled by water, they just bypass this line from here directly to here. That's pretty simple. Then, as you can see, I've removed the power steering lines. I mean the pump. The power steering pump is gone, but the lines are still there. And I'm gonna remove all of these. And when you follow the power steering lines, they go from under your engine to the other side to the rack, and then the return lines come here, and they go here. And here you have, this is the oil cooler for your power steering oil, or your power steering fluid, how you want to call it. Naturally, this is the intercooler. And then when we move on to this side of the engine, you can see that the wire harness right here, the thick wire harness that comes from over there, moves over to the left side of the engine. This is pretty simple. I've disconnected everything from this wire loom. It connects to the wire loom that is connected also to this fuse and relay box. It connects to that with just a couple of small connectors. But anyway, when this is all disassembled, when all of this is disassembled, you can just take this wire loom like this. Looks terrific, looks horrible. You can take this like this and just move it to the side, like so. And there you have it. That's the engine wire loom that is connected to everything on this side. And connected to that wire loom, like this thing. Sorry, hold on. This thing, it usually sits around here, I think. This is the igniter for the 7M engine, so this is what tells the ignition coils which cylinder to fire at which time. But anyway, modern engines don't have these because the ignition coils usually are smart ones, but these old engines, the ignition coils are dummies, and this is what controls what ignites and when. Here's another resistor pack. This is for your injectors, I think. Yes, it's for the injectors. Then there's a electric component that looks like this in the engine bay also. I believe it's somewhere around here. And this is only the timing relay for your windscreen wipers. So this controls only that. And then there's loads of other stuff. But oh yeah, and one thing that I forgot to mention is that vacuum line over there. This vacuum line that connects to this small thing over there. There's just an electric connection between this sensor. This is only for the economy light. Then all of the stuff that is usually over there, it's only for the cruise control. So pretty much everything from this side of the engine bay I can remove to the glove box over there. And the fuel pump stuff, the relay and the resistor pack also is gonna go to the glove box. And I'm gonna move this relay and fuse box also to the glove box, because they all can fit there. So, like I said, everything is now disassembled and looking very simple. To me, at least, it looks really simple. I can just build this wire harness really easily again, so that it comes really smoothly on this side of the engine, and just cover everything up and move all the harnesses over there and just bring every electric component, wire harness that I need directly this way to the front, and just split it to where I need and make the engine bay look really clean. But yeah, now I don't know. Now I'm not entirely sure what I should do next. But I am pretty confident that I'm not gonna put the regular power steering anymore to this car. I'm gonna change to the Volvo electric power steering unit that I have in the Nissan already. It's super simple. I can put I'm gonna naturally, when I'm gonna move the battery from the front to the back, I have also the possibility to put my power steering pump, the electric pump, to the back. So I just need to run 2 hydraulic lines to the front. And on my power steering rack, this is pretty simple. This is the pressure line, and that's the return line. So like that. That's the pressure, and that's the return line. And it's gonna be rather easy because these are already with banjo bolts. So I'm just gonna take new hydraulic lines, remove all the existing power steering fluid lines, and just put 2 new lines and route them from the front to the back and put the power steering unit there. Naturally, the power steering unit is gonna eat up a ton of electricity, so I need to upgrade my my alternator, and the alternator bracket, the relocation bracket, is already here. So this thing is gonna give possibility to mount my alternator low like this, because normally it sits up here. But when I get the front facing intake manifold here, it's gonna take a lot of space from this area, from the top, so I need to relocate my alternator down there. And once I'm at it, I might as well change a bigger alternator. So everything is gonna look much cleaner when I get this done. And while I'm at it, I might as well clean up the engine bay also visually. So that means by painting everything, and I've been thinking that I could just remove the fenders, the bumper, and take everything out to paint the whole engine bay. But the first idea that I had was to just put a front-facing intake manifold there. But then once I got into it, I realized that it's gonna be much easier to just disassemble the whole engine wire loom like this, take it apart, and build everything again to match the new setup. So this is where this project is at the moment, and as you can see, it's moving forward. And I'm gonna film the next time that I'm gonna, I think from here it's gonna be still a little bit of disassembling, but when it goes to rebuilding stuff, then I'm gonna film more. But now when it's just disassembling, it's gonna be, this is really simple stuff. I'm not gonna emphasize this too much. But yeah, when I get to the rebuilding stage, when I'm starting to put stuff back together, then it's gonna be much more interesting. There's also a device like this. Hold on. A device like this. And this is just a pressure sensor for your boost gauge. Nothing fancy here. This doesn't connect to the ECU at all. And then I'm pretty sure I had all the stuff that used to be for the AC and for the for everything, the cruise control, but I might have already gotten rid of those. But anyway, the regular throttle body, it looks like this, and as you can see, this is way too small for the new intake manifold, so I need to get a new throttle body. And I was wondering if this existing throttle position sensor is gonna fit to those different kind of throttle bodies, but we'll see. This is a I think this is from a 2JZ, this intake manifold, this plenum, and the bolt pattern here is 78 by 79 millimeters, so it's gonna take a 80 millimeter throttle body, which is gonna be a bit bigger than the regular one. And yeah, oh, by the way, and if you didn't know what this is, hold on, if you don't know what this is, this connects to your intake manifold like so, and it has this funny looking connector with 6 spokes. Hold on, this one, this is just your idling, so this is to control your idle. Pretty big for that reason, but anyway, I need to rebuild everything to control the idle also with that thing. I might as well, or I might just build the idle thing somewhere under the intake manifold when it comes to the new stuff. But anyway, that's it for today. Thank you for watching and see you next time.